Hello again, you're very welcome to Air Sports Studios as we continue our preview show looking ahead to Saturday's Dublin derby. Shamrock Rovers versus Bohemians will be live in Air Sport 1 from 1:45 to 2. We had Dinny Corcoran and Aaron Green on just a few moments ago, and I'm delighted to say we've Derek Pender and Pat Flynn representing Bohemians and Shamrock Rovers. Gentlemen, I have to remark from the start, both Dinny and Aaron were very professional, articulate with their answers, so I'm expecting the same from you both now. Big Dublin derby on Saturday, Pat. No fans will be there, of course. But given the magnitude of this fixture, top of the table clash, is this one you wish you were playing in?
Yeah, it is, in fairness. As I was saying, like any other year, when you're playing in these derbies, I do look at the crowd and say I'd love to be in the crowd. And this year, you won't even be in the crowd, but I'd love to be playing. And it's always great to play the second biggest team in the north side. So, like,
who's the first, by the way?
Shelbourne.
Okay.
But it'd be a great derby, especially Bohs being second, Rovers being first. Any other year it'd be a sellout, but it's unfortunate that fans can't be here this year. So, but it is one I'd love to play in now this year.
Absolutely. As we mentioned, no fans there, but top of the table. Given the fact that it will be behind closed doors, it won't take away from the sense of occasion. It certainly won't take away from the intensity of the match either.
No, I don't think so. I think over the last number of years, the games have been brilliant. Like, you know, and Greener touched on it earlier on, where how quick it can flip. Obviously, Rovers have won the last couple. Bohs were on a decent run before that, but this game on Saturday has a little bit more now with the league table the way it is. So it's a massive game. The players won't mind. They won't be thinking about what fans are there and not fans. It'll be a big game to play in.
Absolutely. Yes, I know the media only care about writing the headlines. Is it too early to be calling this a title decider?
I think so. Yeah. There's loads of games to go. The league is so hard. Every team you play every week in the league, it's a tough game. Anything can happen. There'll be points dropped. I'm sure Rovers will drop some and Bohs will probably drop some towards the end of the season. So no, it's too early to be calling it.
Absolutely. I feel like just lobbing in a grenade and letting you at it, to be honest. But we previewed the match itself with the two boys earlier, so I want to go back then a few years. What are your best Dublin derby moments? Sorry, it's not the Dublin derby. What are your best moments from the Dublin derby that is Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians?
The first one in Tallaght was really good for me. Gary Twiggs scored 2 goals, so it was a nice one. Because we hadn't bet Bohs before when we were in Talca. It was my first year. Went to Tallaght and it was nice to do with them. The second one was the one I kicked Gareth McGlynn up the arse. We were winning.
So that's a memorable one for you.
It is, yeah. We were winning 1-0, and listen, if you ask any Rovers fan would he rather score a goal or kick a Bohs player up the arse, I'm sure he'd say he'd rather kick a Bohs player up the arse.
I don't know, can I reveal, I was texting you earlier, can we reveal what your WhatsApp picture is?
Yeah, it's the same photo. It's Gareth McGlynn lying on the ground. My only regret it wasn't Killian Brennan, but listen.
Okay, well unfortunately we don't have the two gentlemen on for a right of reply,
yeah.
so we do have to go easy with that. Derek, what's your from a footballing side of things then, what are your best memories?
I think the one that Dara scored, I wasn't playing in. I didn't play. Dara scored in the 96th minute. We ran down the line. I was injured that game, and I didn't even realise I was injured. I was just so excited that he scored. Obviously, 96 minute, you run down the line to celebrate, and I think I put myself out for another 3 weeks after.
Someone keep warding up the flag?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. No, I played in that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Greener's robbed that one now, hasn't
he? Yeah, as well. It's fair. He's in the background there, so I'm not sure if we will pick him up on the mic. Just what is this Shamrock Rovers Bohemians rivalry to the players? Like, I mean, I know what it means. There are a few players that are genuine fans of the clubs as well, and you know it means so much to the fans, and it is such a big event. But to the players that mightn't support either club, do they feed into it? Do they feel the energy when you go out? Like, because I know you guys can probably be a bit more honest that you're both retired now. Do you feel a bit more going into a match like this?
Yeah, well, I would say at the start of the season, it is one of the first ones you'd look for.
Okay.
But then you play week to week, but then the week of the derby, you can't help but be caught up in it. And like, I followed Rovers myself, and I tried to distance myself from, but you'd be getting the texts, and it was hard for me, especially, not to get
the rush of blood to the head.
Up, and that's probably why I did get sent off a lot. But it is hard to distance yourself, but I always find the team that's the coolest generally goes and wins the game. So hopefully it's Rovers this week.
So that was going to be my next question. Who will be the coolest? Like, how do you see this one going?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, Rovers not having the fans there will be a big thing. It won't affect Bohs as much because the fans are so quiet. So
That's 2-0 by the way, Derek. So I will come to you in a moment.
It shouldn't be too bad. But no, listen. The two sets of fans, like of a lot of respect for the Bohs fans. Although I hate them, they love their club.
3-0, but who's counting?
But no, I'm not having a go. They are really good fans. But listen, it's the fans that are missing out. Football's about fans being there, and it's just unfortunate. As I said, it's a top of the table clash. They can't be there this especially like with everything that's going on. I think it would be a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose again, kind of looking at it from if you stick your pundit hat on, Bohs form team in the league unbeaten since the restart. I did pose that question to Dinny. They couldn't be in a better position going into this.
No, but I don't think form counts going into these games. It never has, really. They're such big games. It's like you say every week, or like the week of them, the leading up to it, and it's just added that it's a top of the table clash and there's a little bit more on it this time. But I don't think form comes into it. Bohs might be the form team, but Rovers are Rovers. You know what I mean? They're doing so well, they're top of the league for a reason. So I think all the pressure should be on them. You know.
As a shots fired back, but. Was it difficult when you were playing, kind of similar to what I asked Pat, to distance yourself from that sense of occasion? And like obviously you would have been a leading figure in the dressing room as well when you were playing. Was it difficult to distance yourself from the occasion and also to convey that message to the rest of the squad?
It was hard. It's even hard. Like for the lads, they know what it's about. Like, you know, the biggest thing is when you're playing in a derby game like against Rovers, the ground is full before 7:15. So you're going out to warm up and the Geordie's packed, and that was the best feeling for us. It was the best feeling for me when I used to walk out and see them there, and you know what I mean. They're there down where we warm up. The noise was just unbelievable. So that's the big thing I think for the fans, for the lads as well going into Saturday, because not seeing them there when they run out on that other side, like we packed that out. I don't think Rovers ever have. Yeah. You know what I mean. So.
3-2.
That's a shame that the fans can't be there for this one.
Yeah. Were you one of the players when you were playing that would feed off the energy all the time? I know Bohs have sold out daily before they're breaking behind closed doors matches, but would you been a player? I've asked this to a lot of rugby players and soccer players as well, that you want that energy and you would be very difficult to play in an empty stadium.
Yeah, I think so. For me anyway. Definitely I fed off it. I was a little bit more composed than Pat, though I never got sent off as much. But
you were more responsible then.
Yeah, so I was more responsible. Not sent off in the derby anyway. But yeah, definitely, you feed off that. You need the fans there. I go to watch the boys, been up watching the lads, and it's just not the same. You know, it's a shame that they're not around.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of robust tackles, I do have to mention, obviously, Shamrock Rovers, an excellent job for them getting AC Milan. You had your moment with Real Madrid and a certain Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah. So is this the type of Shamrock Rovers players to have their moment with AC Milan and the likes of Zlatan?
It's a shame, to be honest with you, because again the fans won't be there, and like I didn't go out to do Ronaldo that day. It just happened. But what that Real
Madrid used to set the record straight, like just in case Cristiano Ronaldo is watching our Facebook Live.
but what that gave us the Real Madrid game, it gave us playing against a top quality European team. It gave us a full stand to see what it was like, and then we went on and played Juventus a year later, and I think it stood to us the Real Madrid match the year before. So just with the AC Milan game, like I think it's great for the lads. I've heard pundits this week saying it's not the greatest draw for Rovers in money terms, because if they got a Lithuanian team or whatever, they might get over the line. But that's not what football's about. These lads want to play the best players. They want to play the best teams. They don't care about these Lithuanian teams or wherever they're from. They want to go out and play AC Milan and Juventus and Belgrade, all these great teams. So I think it's a great game for the lads. The players will relish it, and it's a one leg. Like there's no reason why they can't do it with the quality in the squad. I thought our team in 2010 reminds me very similar to the Bohs team now. I think they're very direct and exciting, but the Rovers team now are head and shoulders above what we were in terms of passing, and the goals come from everywhere. So it'll be a really interesting match, and I'm sure even if they don't win it, they'll learn a lot from it. So it'll be good.
Yeah, like what will they learn from it? Like a match, getting that experience of playing against AC Milan, playing against these world class players, like that will only develop the Shamrock Rovers players then in themselves.
Yeah, well, it'll test them against the best in the world. Like Ibrahimovic is there. I'm not sure of many of the other players, but you can be assured they'll be up there, not world class, but really good.
Yeah.
So it'll be a chance for the lads, Green or Jack Bourne, to test what's the standard in Europa. in Champions League, and see can some of the younger lads might want to push on in the future and maybe go to England or playing across the seas somewhere. But so it'd be good for them to test themselves. Other than that, like again, it's just you'd love the atmosphere there. You'd love the two legs to play in the San Siro, especially because it's getting knocked down this year. So it's a shame it can't happen. But I think for the lads, it's a great fixture. We're playing one of the all-time great teams.
From a Bohs perspective, I'm sure you'd be hoping some of those players will have a sneaky eye on Milan, and the concentration might be lacking.
Yeah, well, look, everybody's already talked about Milan. They're not talking about Bohs and Rovers, are they? So
suits you,
yeah, suits us.
Well, everybody is talking about certain off-field activities of Bohemians as well. Not a bad 1.7 million due to pocket with the Doherty sell-on clause. What will that do? Like, you're obviously involved with the Bohemians under-17s, so you're still heavily involved with the club since you stopped playing. What will that do for Bohemians as a whole?
I think it's massive. I was just reading what Daniel says during the week when he was on the podcast there last week as well, about it just brings the club forward probably 3 or 4 years in that plan, you know. So it's massive in that terms, like, you know, it helps push things along quicker, and I'm sure Keith's happy with it as well.
Will that good feeling though trickle down to the squad, or is it just completely separate? Obviously there's a lot of positivity around Bohemians now because of that. Like, will that kind of give an energy boost to the players?
I don't think so. No, I think over the last number of years there's been a lot of positive going around the club, and you know what they do in the background is brilliant. You know, they always have a little thing going on. So this is just another thing that's coming really. You know, the boys in the dressing room.
1.7 million.
Yeah, for the lads. Yeah, that's for the board and for the members. It's a great thing that they put that in the contract, and they're going to deal with that money whatever way they see best. But I don't think it affect on the players. Like, I'm sure some of them are thinking, I might be asking for more money at the end of the season. But
well, Denny's on cover day with a contract renegotiation.
That's what they're probably thinking. But I don't know. I don't see that because Keith's a bit tight when it comes to that.
Well, unfortunately, that's a load of people there we don't have on for a right reply. We will have to get them on some stage. I mentioned the 17s. How's coaching going? Yeah,
it's good. I'm enjoying it. We have a decent group. The lads are very good, cheeky, young lads. I need to adapt, you know. It's a different generation now to the way I was when I was growing up. So
are you
it's good.
As an old man now?
Oh, big time, yeah. But I'm sure Pat and everybody's knows when you come up through our generation what it was like. You know, I think we had a little bit more respect, but these lads just don't care anymore.
No. And
it's
yourself?
Not the same at the kids have a lot of respect.
You're with the 13s.
I'm with the 13s.
So I wouldn't say they're as lippy as a 17-year-old, no?
Right from 13s up to 19s, our lads aren't lippy at all. They have a lot of respect for the coaches.
Yeah, right. That's why 3 of our players came to us.
That's 3 all now. We're coming to an end of it, so I'm hoping to just leave it as a draw.
No, listen, it's great to be involved. I'd have the height respect for all the kids there, and it keeps my foot in the door of football, and you feel like you're giving back a bit, you know, that way as well. So it's really good for me to be involved, and it's nice then for the kids to be playing Bohs, Kevin's, and Joey Spray, all these big teams as well. So it's a little taste for them as well, what's ahead.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, unfortunately we are coming to an end, but before I do let you go, Death, I'll come back to yourself. Score prediction for Saturday.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, unfortunately, you've time to think about this now, so...
Bohs 6 now.
I'm
joking.
Okay, I'll rephrase the question. A realistic score prediction for Saturday.
Oh, I don't know, it's a tough game. A cup draw.
Draw?
Yeah.
Score draw?
Score draw.
Okay, well, he's sitting on the fence. You've had about 30 seconds to think about it now.
These daytime games, I don't like them. They're usually a bit drab sometimes, so I'd say Rovers will probably struggle along and be 4-0 to Rovers. Honestly, I'd say 2-0 to Rovers.
Okay. Well, that's actually, sorry, my final question. I find that as a fan, going to matches that aren't under the lights, they lack an atmosphere. Now, a fan, when fans are allowed to attend, do players feel that as well then? That the earlier kick-offs, you know, it's a different preparation, is it?
It's definitely a different preparation, and how you eat and how you prepare and what time you're up and having breakfast, things like that. I preferred the night games. I know I said it before, I used to love driving towards Tally. You'd see the glare of the floodlights and you'd smell the hot dogs before the kick-off as you're walking out the tunnel.
Priorities,
Pat,
yeah.
See Detter's, the shine of the floodlights off Detter's ball patch at the back of his head. Your vision would be impaired for 20 minutes, so I miss all that.
He never played against us in the Rovers derby.
I only played the Bohs, so I wasn't allowed to play against the crap teams.
Right, well, on that note, Shamrock Rovers versus Bohemians, 1:45 exclusively live on Air Sport 1.